Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
And welcome to another day on Skye. Our favourite island so far,
Yes,
by
wonderful.
far. We love it, don't we?
Yes.
We just wish the weather had been nicer, but this morning it's actually quite bright. It's not raining, it has been. We've had hail this morning. But it's quite sunny at the moment. But very, very, very cold. It feels like -2, something like that. But look at us view from last night. If I just turn you around and adjust my lighting, let's show you outside. This is what we woke up to. It's beautiful out there. We've got sheep joined us now. Mazzy's just tried to get a selfie with them. They weren't interested. It's because she's so foxy. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Right, the lighthouse is over there and we still haven't seen it because we were so tired last night. We just couldn't be bothered going down. And there wasn't going to be a sunrise there, a sunset, because it was too cloudy. So we're going to take a walk down there now and hopefully get just a couple of good pictures of the lighthouse. Come with us. So you enjoying the lighthouse, Mazzy?
Can't see it and it's too windy.
Yeah, we can't see it. The lighthouse is at the other side of there, so to get a view of it, you can actually walk to it, but we've been reading that it's too dangerous in high winds. They recommend you don't bother.
Yeah.
Apparently somebody at the bottom of the steps, I'm not sure where the steps are, the steps are over there, look. Somebody fell off them steps a couple of years ago and died.
Oh my god.
They fell off the cliff or something, so we're not doing it, because the wind is ridiculous
Yeah, I'm
today.
actually blowing everywhere.
So the only way to see the lighthouse and to get a fantastic view would be to walk up there and probably walk for at least half a mile to get to see the lighthouse. It is a fantastic view. I've seen a picture of it on Instagram the other day. Mazzy's off. She's been blown away. It is a fantastic view, but it's not happening. There's no way we're going over there in this weather. Hello? 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 Hello, come here then. Come here then. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on here. Come here. Come here.
Oh god, baby, you're right. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but I wasn't expecting that.
You better not have been recording. So we've made another stop. Found another one by mistake.
Yeah.
Mazzy's found another place.
Spotted it.
We were just driving along and she saw this chapel. St John's Chapel, and she was doing a Wikipedia thing because Mazzy's got a signal, I haven't. And there is an interesting story about down here. So let's go down, take a look. It's a ruin of a chapel and a few graves, but yeah, a bit of a story and a beautiful view over the loch. I don't know which loch, could be anywhere. Let's go have a look at the chapel. So one of the stories I'm going to tell you is about Otter Swire. Remember that name? She erected this in memory of their parents. So this is Otter's parents, okay? Herbert Swire and Evelyn Swire. And Flora Mcdonald Dun. Is that the Flora Mcdonald?
Yes.
Oh, this is really,
Yeah.
this is getting really interesting now. So just remember that sign, yeah, what it says and who's related to who. But the story is about Otter Swire, her son, her granddaughter, and her mother, Flora Mcdonald. I don't recognise any of the names down here yet, not the gravestone I'm looking for, but it's very beautiful. You know, all surrounded by the railings. They've come off a little bit. We've got railings and they're obviously important local people, and a beautiful ruin in the background. Okay, so now let me tell you the little bit we do know about the chapel. This chapel was built in the 1800s. I can't remember the date, I'm sorry, but it was only open for 17 years as a chapel, but the graveyard itself is still used as a graveyard. So there's dates on the gravestones from ever since then, but there's not many gravestones here. The chapel itself, what a shame, only 17 years. It was built by the Macleods, who had a lot of say on this island. It's a very big Macleod clan gathering type of place. But what I want to show you is this. This was all Mazzy's idea, stopping here. I'm glad she did, because it's quite an interesting little story. It all ties together, you see. Sorry, let me sort my lighting out for you. This is the girl the story starts with. This is Flora Mcdonald Margaret Swire. Flora Swire. Now, Flora Swire died on the Lockerbie aeroplane back in 1988 on my birthday, December the 21st. It was the day before her birthday. She would have been 24 years old. And she was on the flight going over to America to spend Christmas with a boyfriend. And we all know what happened to the plane. It got blown up by a bomb. Oh, and that's...
Yeah.
Oh, that's a grandma, isn't it? Okay, sorry, I'm getting off track. So she died, okay? Now her dad became the leading campaigner for the Lockerbie inquiry, if you like, because he always said the guy who got done for the bomb on Lockerbie, on the plane, wasn't the man who should have been done. He thought it was somebody else, and he campaigned for 25 years trying to get the real people, you know, justice, and the real people go to prison for it, but never succeeded as far as I'm aware. Right, this is getting quite confusing now, looking at the graves. You've got the granddaughter, Flora Mcdonald Margaret Swire. Her father was, I think he was called Jim or James, not sure. His sister, so Flora's auntie, is buried here next to the ashes of Otter Swire, who is Flora's grandmother. Now, Otter Swire wrote a book called Skye, the Island and its Legends, and that is the book which I downloaded on Sky Kindle the other day.
Yeah.
Still haven't read it, but we're hoping to get some stories from that to give you some more stories whilst we're on the island. And I had no idea, you know, never heard of Otter Swire until today. You know, you don't look at who writes a book, do you, when it's something like Legends and stuff. But she wrote this book. Now, what's more interesting is Otter Swire, her mother, I think it's her mother. It must be her mother or grandmother, but the plaque up there suggests it's her mother, is Flora Mcdonald. Flora Mcdonald, who helped Bonnie Prince Charlie. So all this family's connected. An airplane tragedy, a father who's fighting for justice for 25 years for the airplane disaster, a grandma who writes a book about the legends of the island, and a great-grandma who is one of the most, well, the most famous person from Skye ever, Flora Mcdonald.
So
absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
So this is obviously the reason why the granddaughter, Flora Mcdonald, is called Flora Mcdonald Margaret Swire. They wanted to get the Flora Mcdonald name back. And her ashes, as I said, she was one of the people who died on the Lockerbie disaster. Ashes of what they found of her body left, it wasn't a complete one from what I've heard, unfortunately, were cremated and they've been scattered amongst the graveyard here. Don't know anything about this gentleman, but he might be famous. David L. Roberts, painter and architectural historian from Lincolnshire in England and Skye. Died aged 63, 1997. He's buried here, which I'm guessing, aged 10 years old, this one. That must be his daughter, Georgina Roberts. So yeah, that was just a nice little stop, somewhere which most tourists don't know about. It's a bit off the, you know, unless you know it's there, or you're looking very eagle-eyed, like them eagle eyes, you won't see it, but worth a stop. Fascinating to know the link between granddaughter, father, grandma and great-grandma, all coming from the same family and all having some incredible, famous kind of history about them. And that gives the date of the church, 1838. And as I said, it was just 15 years. Right, I think we'd better go, Mazzy, because there's a lorry parked behind us and he can't get out until we get in front. So thank you for yet another lovely tea, Mazzy.
You're welcome.
I asked for pizza, and that's beautiful. We just got really cheap ones, and Mazzy's put his own topping on top, and it's beautiful. And in true Mazzy style, she doesn't just give me what I ask for. She piles a load of other stuff on as well. This is actually last night's leftovers, but I didn't eat much last night, and I should have done. I've been after these for ages. It's like ham and cheese on top. They're absolutely gorgeous. And I've no idea what that is. Some kind of surprise, weird thing. But we'll give it a go. Beautiful. So we're just next to Loch Brackadale at the moment. You can't see it. I've got the wrong lens on for you, but it's just here. Mazzy wanted to stop here because there's a chambered cairn over there, but you can't see it, it's over the hill. She thought it was this hill, but it's nothing, isn't that hill, Mazzy? But that isn't what we've come to see anyway. We've come to see Dun Beag. Come with me, Mazzy, I'll show you it. It's up on the top of the hill up there. Been here before. From memory, it's I think it's one of the best examples of a chambered cairn, of a broch in Scotland. There's hundreds of these in Scotland, but this is one of the best examples, or better examples. But we'll get up there. It's a bit of a walk up the hill, so we'll have a look around for you. So here we are in Dun Beag, literally in Dun Beag. It is a broch. No one really knows what a broch is. Some suggestions are it's like a fortification to stop people attacking them. Some people say it is just to show how big and cool you are. Personally, I think it was just well-off farmers, if you like, who could afford to make a nice stone place to live. Because these were about 3 stories high. In the bottom, you'd have your livestock, and they'd live upstairs on the top floor, I think. I believe this one used to be about 30 feet higher than it is today, so about 40 feet tall, 50 feet tall. But over the years it's just eroded. Back in the late 1700s it was actually still quite tall because someone did a sketch of it or something, and it looked pretty good. Much better than it does today. Now if you're thinking of coming here with a metal detector, don't bother. Firstly, it's illegal, and secondly, you won't find anything, because in the year, back to my notes now, in the years 1914 to 1920, some dude called Countess Vincent Ballet de la Tour, obviously French, he came and excavated it. He sieved, put it all through a sieve, he just dug holes, sieved it all. 200 tons of soil is sieved from here. Do you want to know what kind of things he found? Do you?
Yes.
So here's a list for you. He found stone implements, utensils, a gold ring, bronze objects, a piece of folded sheet lead, iron and glass objects, a borer of bone, a pick made from an antler, a lot of pottery and a stone cup. Several hundred glass beads were also found, but they're not to be thought to be prehistoric. They're not that old. I need to come back to that actually. It says they are not thought to be prehistoric. Now I read earlier that brochs were thought to be like 100 years BC. So why would it be prehistoric? I don't know, or maybe I'm getting my facts wrong. Maybe it is prehistoric. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just going to walk off in this direction and come back with a fresh head knowing what I'm talking about. That's better. So, they found coins here as well from the times of Henry II, Edward I, James VI, George II and George III. So coins dating back to the 1300s. So this place has been visited at least for a long time. And it was probably in use for a long time. Probably up until maybe the 1700s. But as you can see, it's just a circle of bricks and stones now. I've got absolutely no idea what these steps are for or what this area is. And over there's a big hole. I've no idea what that's for either. What I would suggest it would still be good for to use is bare knuckle fighting. If you had because people come over in the caravans and stuff, bare knuckle fighters, you could have 50 from one family or clan or group of travellers, and then 50 from another on each side, and the two bare knuckle fighters in here, bang, 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 bang. And I think it's the perfect size for something like that. Apart from that, I can't really see any kind of use for it whatsoever. Apart from maybe, I don't know, you know, you get like fetes at churches where you have little stalls and you sell cakes. Maybe they could line some of them up. People could come down the steps, start at this end, go around the stalls, buy whatever they want to buy, and then leave through the exit. That's just another idea. As you can see down here, loads of stones over the years have fallen off or been pushed off or whatever. But I'm sure these were all part of it at one moment in time. Absolutely stunning views from up here. That's our motorhome there. Beautiful look in the background there and down there, with snowy mountains in the background over there. So you've got an illustration here of what it might have looked like once upon a time. So that's, as I said, the animals in the bottom there, and people living upstairs, and then they'd hang the socks up at the top there to keep them dry overnight, you know, so that they're dry for in the morning. Where's my finger gone? There, right there. I can't see. There.